Hey everyone, Mac is back. Today we're going to talk about the Blockade skill that some of the larger accounts have and what kind of strategy you need to use to be able to, basically have less troops dying and basically having those, being able to even, play with those bigger accounts if you're able to. But it's can be a very hectic type of situation, but I'm here to try to help you out the best that I can, so let's get to it. So where do you get Blockade from? That is a very simple question. You get it from your third dragon, and this third dragon, the Sapphire Dragon, once you upgrade it, and this is obviously it's going to cost you a considerable amount of money to be able to do this. However, most people like to get this skill and this skill only, so they like to increase. You can see the staggering steps here of your increases. So you'll unlock the Drake first, you'll unlock the young dragon, and then you'll unlock the adult dragon 2. And once you do that, you get this skill here, and this is what Blockade is. It blockades the target enemy castle for 12 minutes at the very first level. When used, and the blockaded castles will be unable to use the random or precise transfers. However, this does not affect a precise transfer if you go between the kingdom and warring kingdoms during the Champion City Siege. So that's just one kind of caveat between that. As well as reducing their training speed by 10% and healing by 20%, and this skill has a cooldown of 8 hours. So essentially, if you get this to max level, you can see there it says blockades the target enemy castle, nearby enemy castles for 30 minutes. So if you max this out, you're going to be stuck there for 30 minutes. So which it really doesn't matter too much with the 30 minutes, because you're either going to be zeroed at some point with the rallies or not. So it really just depends how you're going to play with it. But this is basically what the blockade is. Now, even before you get blockaded, you should be prepared to defend it. And the reason that is because you don't want to get in that situation and not know what to do. Because if you do, then it's going to be bad for you, and you're probably going to be zeroed. So the first thing I want to tell you to do is to think what the person blockading you is thinking. Think about how they're going to try to kill your troops. First of all, they're going to watch you, and when you're attacking, because you're probably out about attacking or you're scouting or whatever you're doing, and as soon as they see you go into fervor, that's 15 minutes where you cannot bubble. So as soon as they see that, they're going to blockade you. They're going to time it so where they know they have just about 15 minutes to where they can get at least 2 rallies off on you. If it's a 12-minute blockade, or maybe it's more, so maybe they're going to try to get a couple more rallies off on you. So that's the first thing that they're going to do, and they're going to use that skill. As soon as that happens, they're going to port next to you, all of them, whoever the alliance is. If they're well coordinated, then it's going to become difficult. And then they're going to attack you as you try to empty your castle, because obviously emptying your castle is going to be the goal of trying to save your troops for the most part, depending on your account. Again, this is for accounts that can zero out. If you're going to tank them, or if you have too many troops, then so be it. But I can help you with that a little bit as well. And also, they're going to try to instant collect some of your resource nodes that you're going to. If you're emptying out and you go to those resource nodes, and they're going to instant collect those, and then once they do that, they're going to port their castles into where that node used to be. So then port away, and when that happens, it'll be an automatic hit on their castle, and of course that entire army will be annihilated. So the biggest thing here to begin with is make sure that you're trying to consider how they're doing it and how well coordinated they are. If they're not that well coordinated, then you don't have to worry about it as much. You should be able to empty out your castle fairly easily. But let's get to some more types of strategy. So the next what I want to talk about is what do you actually do. And the very first thing is don't panic. Just be calm. You still have, they're going to try to put that rally on you right away, most likely. and sometimes they might take the rally off and restart it. So you might have more than the 5 minutes, to be able to empty your castle out. And 5 minutes sounds like not a lot of time, but actually it's quite a bit. So the first thing you want to do, like I said, is don't panic, and to use your anti-scout. Put your anti-scout on if you don't already have that on. Usually you're probably attacking with a 20% buff, attack buff. Well, now you want to put the anti-scout on there because you don't want them seeing into your castle, because if they know how many troops you have, they're going to estimate about how many different marches you're going to need to be able to empty your castle out. And if they do that, if they know that, then it's going to be difficult for you. So if they are coordinated, then you have, like I said, you have to be careful. The first thing is to put some troops, put some tier 4 troops in your shelter. You want to. It depends on how many troops you have about when you want to put your lord in one of your marches. That's going to be the big thing. So if for instance, I only carry about 6 million troops in my castle, anywhere from like 6 to 8 million. It really depends. But most of them are tier 3 and tier 4. So for instance, if I want to go, put my troops in, say, like garrison in here, then I can hit this, auto select, and it's going to put my lord in there. So just remember that when you do that. So if you put that in there, you could go over here and you click on some of these other ones, your presets that you have, and if your lord is not in there, as you can see, lord's not in there, so then I can just max out whatever my whatever my tier 4 are at that point, because that's what the first thing you're going to do is you want to empty your castle out with your tier 4s first. That's going to be the biggest thing to do. Get those tier 4s out. And when we're talking about troops, as you can see, I have about 7.1 million troops in my castle. But what I like to do is I like to keep 1 million of the tier 3s and 1 million of the tier 4s. I'm not a bow commander. I don't have bows, so I really don't really worry about them too much. But the other ones are what I recommend. Is having 1 million. So basically those 6 million troops are the ones you're going to try to empty out of there to get to safety. So when you're doing that, depending on how large each march is, how many you can put in a march, you're going to look at trying to get those tier 4s out there first. So for instance, if I put like a 20% or a 50% on, I should be able to get in three separate marches, I should be able to get all my tier 4s out. Now, what I would want to do with the way my account is set up is on that third march. So say I get my spear out, say I get my cav out, and say I'm working on the infantry. So what I want to do is I want to add at that point, I want to add my lord to that march, because if they attack me, at least I'll have 1 million of those tier 4s in there, plus 3 million of my other troops. That's 4 million. That's tough to solo if you're at least a decent size account. Now, if you think that you're going to they'll still smash you with that, then you have to worry. Then you can maybe do it on the second one, or maybe even the very first one, and then you can just, just got to be careful with that. It really depends on how powerful they are and how powerful you are. So that's what you're going to want to do from there. Once you get those tier 4s out, then just rush and get the rest of your out as fast as you can. Don't worry about where you're sending them, or just get them out of there as fast as you can. That's really going to be your best strategy for that. Just remember that your hospital is your friend. When you're going to be attacked at some point, you're going to have wounded troops. So make sure that if you want to heal those troops, you can heal them whenever you want, as fast as you can. If they do attack you at some point in there, and you are, maybe you fended off the attack. Well, if you did do that, then your hospital's probably going to be full or close to it. Make sure you heal those troops very quickly, because if they attack you again, you're going to have a lot less troops in there, and they may be able to just kill them all, because your hospital will be completely full. So you've emptied your castle, and now you need to bring your troops back, because your fervor has expired. So now you can be able to bubble. However, with your troops out, you're not able to do that. So you need to bring them back simultaneously. And to do that, I am going to try to do it myself here, kind of give you an example of what to do. So I have 3 that I'm going to bring back at the same time. They're a little bit staggered, so the times are going to be a little off. This is where you have to use some of your speed ups, and also be aware that you're going to want to go to your shelter, because it's going to have some troops in there as well. And when you do that, you'll be able to you'll be able to bring those troops back too. Time them right at the very end there as well. So I'll actually do that as well. So I'm going to throw some troops in my shelter. So say I'll just throw these bows in here or something, confirm that, and there you go. And you can actually see the hiding here as well. I'm hiding them for an hour, so if I need to go to there, I can do that. So looking at this, I'm going to bring back these three. So we're going to bring out this one, and I believe this one here. Boom. Okay, so they're all coming back. You can see the times. You can see these are a little bit staggered there, which is what you don't want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 25% on these first two and see if I can get them a little bit closer. So we'll speed up 25% there, and we'll speed up 25% here. And as you can see now, they are a little bit closer. You have a 325 and 326, so I'll try 25% on those and try to get them just a little bit closer. And there we are. See, we're a lot closer here now. So what you'll want to do is whenever they get closer, and when they get down to about 10 seconds left or something like that, then the very first one, that's when you want to start to speed the other ones in there, and then also go to your shelter and bring those troops back at the same time. Because what they're going to do is they're going to port in, they're going to be here next to you, seeing these lines coming in, and they're going to just constantly attack you, one after another after another. Now, if you can bring your troops all in at the same time with your lord, then you'll just annihilate them. You should have enough troops in there to be able to annihilate them. And also be aware that if they keep doing this, and there's multiple of them doing it, then you need to go to your hospital and be able to just heal. But if you can get all your troops back in there very, very quickly, then you can just put your bubble on and you won't have no problem at all. So let me see if I can do this whenever they get back. Alright, so here we go. They're coming in. You can see they're off by just a little bit, so I'm going to speed this one up just a little bit and a little bit more. So now we're looking at 8. I'm going to get that one down there. That's closer. This one, 8, 4, 3. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And as that's going on right there, I'm going to go into my shelter. See, I screwed it up already. There you go. Boom. Recall. Actually, not too bad, because the last one came in and I just brought that back. So it actually worked out pretty good. You can see there they were staggered by a couple seconds, which may hurt you, may not. It really just depends on how quickly you can do it. You have to be just quick with your mouse to be able to click on that, the shelter down here, and to be able to get back there as fast as you can. So depending upon your skill level in this game, if you're new to the game, or if you're in the mid game, or maybe you're a little later in the game, if you've been playing since the very beginning, and you're quick, or you're just a really good gamer maybe too, and you just you know how to play pretty well, then the one trick that I've seen some other of my alliance mates do is that they play a little cat and mouse game. So they get blockaded and they know they can empty their castle fairly quickly, or they don't have that many troops to be able to worry about it too much. Well, what they like to do is they like to play a little cat and mouse with so for instance, what they'll do is they'll go to this node here and they'll say gather, and instead of sending an entire march, they'll just pick their main dragon or any dragon that they have here and then throw in one troop, and then they'll send it off, and it looks like it's going to, well, this is a no research. Well, actually, it should be on there. The dragon is not showing, but the dragon normally would be on there. So it looks like I'm going out here, and then they'll try to solo attack you, and it won't be. It's not really going to do anything. You're going to just destroy them at that point if you have enough in there. So I may do that. I may send you may send one there, and then you may look at a couple other ones too. You may say, why don't I do this? Boom, throw a dragon in there, and this dragon's not staying. There it is. Okay, so there you go. Get your dragon in there. And then boom, there's a dragon. So then you can go straight to that. You can go to the next one, pretend you're doing that too, and the next one you send, same thing, boom, send the dragon, and there you go. Now when you're doing this, you're sending those out there, they think that you're emptying your castle, and you're actually not. You're sending one troop. Just make sure you don't send your lord out. That'd be a huge mistake. You would definitely get hurt there doing that. So then you can just bring them back, and eventually they're going to see. Well, if they attacked you, they're going to see that you're what you're doing. So just that's another thing to try to do. You can have a little fun with it if you want to. And the final thing is, if you're really savvy, is to not put anti-scout on, and to let them see how many troops you have in there. and that maybe they'll try to solo you that way if you try to, and then you can do the cat and mouse game with emptying out as well, and then they may think that, oh well, he's doing this many marches, so he should be able to take this many out there when, you know, this many troops, when he really doesn't. So just a little kind of niche thing that you can think about there. So I hope this video gave you a little bit of help, a little understanding of the blockade, of what it does and how to kind of defend against it. There are quite a few more castles out there that are getting it on a daily basis, because you know, the longer we play this game, the more upgrades that we're going to get. So until next time, Mac out.